Attention crew, it's time to make it so. Reporting for duty are your fearless co-hosts, Crewman PVG, bringing the logic, Crewman Mgyx, keeping it bold, and Crewman Tommy, ready with the photon torpedo of hot takes. From classic episodes to new frontiers, Klingon phrases to Starfleet trivia, no quadrant is off limits. So grab your tricorder, set your phasers to fun, and prepare for another warp speed ride through the final frontier. This is Technically Trek.
Laying a course, maximum warp.
Aye, Captain.
Engage.
I can hear the music.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Technically Trek podcast. We're live.
So whatever happens.
One moment while I reach into my new refrigerator and grab a drink.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, what are you gonna grab?
Oh.
Is that homemade or is that store bought?
No, it's a store-bought. I just got my mini fridge in.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got it in a couple of days ago, but yeah. It was definitely... I don't know why I didn't get one sooner.
Let's do introductions. I'm Crewman Tommy.
I'm Crewman PVG. I'm here to put
Crewman Mgyx. I put the F in fun.
I'm here.
I stole yours. What are you gonna do?
I got nothing.
No, go ahead. Why not?
You need to hit Chat GPT beforehand and have 4 or 5 little
zingers.
Zingers or
You need some
quips.
zingers.
You need some quips.
I'm here on 10
Some
forward.
bazingas, if you would.
In the chat, let's say hello to the Chief.
Chief.
And
Man, I totally
Karen.
forgot about even going into the chat.
And we got TrekBot IB from New York City.
I got my
New York City.
Karen, I got my pants on, and I'm back.
Oh, we're on that shot. Let's switch. That's the uncomfortable shot for our viewers. But maybe not if you have pants on. But we
All
can.
right, let me go ahead and get in here. Bam. There we go. She's got Karen IB. Hello. That was it. I just wanted to say hello.
Oh, good. It's nice to be kind of
Acknowledged.
salutaritarian. Something keeps happening with the screen. Do you see it shift? That's weird. But that's just our problem.
Wormhole.
Hopefully you guys are good in stream
Random
world.
tachyon emissions.
Yeah, we'll have to run a level 2 diagnostic and see what's going on.
So I had a strange anomaly happen to me last night that hasn't happened in a very long time.
What was her name?
Star Trek. It put me to sleep last night. And I think the funny thing is, it was DS9,
Yeah.
but it was the DS9 throwback to Trials and Tribulations.
Okay.
So it did take place on the original series, which I used to use to fall asleep to. So yeah, I woke up and I was like, I was only 3 episodes, 2.5, 3 episodes ahead. So I took a 3-hour nap in my chair and then got up and was like, let me just go to bed. I was a little upset though, because I wanted to finish my Maze Runner trilogy last night. And I was like, no, if I watch this last one, it'll put me at 5:30.
Is it a trilogy? I thought Maze Runner had 6 movies.
I think it was supposed to have a lot more, but then the main actor got hurt, and I don't think it ever got picked up for the rest of it. So I remember I never watched the third one. I never finished the second one. So I went back and I was just like, let me watch these from the beginning. So I got all the way through the end of 2 and started 3.
I saw your microphone moving. I thought maybe you were talking.
No. I'm sucking on a cough drop.
I'm glad you clarified that. Pause.
Oh, by the way, we just watched, for our viewers, we know this because we just did it. We watched season 1, episode 1 of Lower Decks, the cartoon. I kind of got to clarify.
I don't want to
that
call
it's
it a cartoon. I want to call it.
What do you want to call it?
The animated series, the adult, because it's not like you're watching the Flintstones. That's what I call cartoons. It's not an anime either, because it's not in the style of like anime. But what do you call? It's literally in the style of a Family Guy, an American Dad,
that kind of stuff.
It's like a sitcom.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I mean, but say animated sitcom.
We call Family Guy a cartoon.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess it is. What do you call?
It was a lot better than the animated series.
A hell of a lot better.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I've already seen all of them, so I'm rewatching. So what I'm doing now as we watch these is I'm not looking at them so much as I'm listening. Because when I was watching it, I was looking for Easter eggs the first time I watched it, the first time through. So some of the dialogue I missed. And now, without looking at the screen, I'm listening to what's actually happening, like what Mariner is saying. Like, I heard for the first time so many fucking jokes that I missed the first time I watched the show. Because I was looking at the animation more than I was listening to the dialogue.
Could we do a community watch?
Yeah, I think we could. I mean, if everyone's got Paramount Plus, or if it's
Marinara.
I want to say Pluto still has a dedicated channel to it.
No, I mean, I'm talking about like grabbing the Civic Center or something. And just show it
you mean that way?
Yeah, locally.
I think it would be appealing to the younger people, younger crowd. It was funny. It was good. That was my first time ever watching that cartoon. But it was good.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple LOL moments.
I enjoyed the. So, I mean, I caught a lot of them the first time around, but at the end, which is like, ooh, do you know about Sulu and the sword thing?
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's about time for another sword thing. A guy with a sword thing. Like, I missed that the first time around. I remember I heard her mention Spock and Kirk, but some of the other ones, yeah, that got mentioned were I miss. I think it's funny. And the whole thing, Spock, he came back from a dead planet. And the Genesis project ought to beat up Khan.
Yeah, and the thing with Lower Decks is it is part of the real Star Trek universe.
Yes, it is canon.
Trek. Sticks with canon, yeah.
Yeah. And so things that happen there. I don't remember, were any of the names from Lower Decks in the on that wall of fame on Academy, Starfleet Academy's trailer?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe Mariner and Boiler were on there.
Okay.
The actress's name, Tawny Newsom, was also on there.
Oh, that's right. I think she's one of the writers also. And, not just an actor.
And she is apparently working on another project that is Star Trek related, where she is going to be the executive producer and everything else with it, not just writer and actor. So I think that's pretty funny. I honestly, like I said, I wanted more crossovers with Discovery and Boimler and Tawny Newsom, just because their voice actors totally fit how they were drawn on screen.
Yeah.
Like, totally.
Well, because I think they drew them to look like the real people.
I don't know if they did. I don't know how.
I mean, Boimler looks like Jack Quaid.
Yes.
And so does Mariner.
At the
I don't know.
The beginning credits, I saw that Jerry O'Connell was mentioned.
Yeah, he's the number one.
And
right?
And his wife.
Yeah.
Is number one in Strange New Worlds.
But he'll get, I guess at some point he'll get promoted to captain, because he, in one of their little TikToks, he says that he outranks his wife in Star Trek.
I'm going to go ahead and spoil it.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler is, yes, it does eventually happen. You got to wait a long time for it to happen, though.
There is a lot. How many episodes per season? I didn't look at that.
I would have to go into my Paramount.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Well, in other Trek news, there was an interview. I saw some guy, and he's got a YouTube channel, like Trek something, and he was interviewing one of the writers from Enterprise.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and he's basically saying it is like so close to being reality. Star Trek, what are they going to call it? United? Like it was going to be Star Trek Archer. And
I'll be the president of
President Archer. Yeah, Star Trek United.
I don't think it's going to be close. There's 10 episodes a season, it looks like. And there are 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Nope, sorry. 5 seasons.
5 seasons.
I wish there was a 6th season.
Okay, so 50 episodes. We're 1 down, 49 to go.
That's awesome.
And they're only 24 minutes each, so that's a pretty easy watch.
Cheap Scott in the chat, I don't know if you've watched any of them. Now's the time to start.
Cheap Scott's probably not into watching cartoons.
Yeah, either was I, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Trek talk.
Yeah.
A lot of
you would like it.
Diagnostics, and
there's a lot of callbacks.
It's the back office stuff.
So I will say this. If you watch the animated series and you wondered about when Spock became a giant due to a transporter clone, I think, or the alien, you find out what happens to giant Spock in Lower Decks. So there's a lot of...
Why do I look giant?
Because
you're not slouching like PVG.
Well, we're
kind of
relaxed.
descending, or we're in ascending
I'm leaning
order.
forward because I got to be able to reach my keyboard, and he is relaxing because he's got the Stream Deck sitting on his lap. So he's got the advantage when it comes to comfort. Chief Scott is purging.
Yeah. Actually, last night was the first time I watched a Star Trek show in almost 3 weeks. I hadn't watched DS9 or anything. I listened to Khan, but I hadn't. This is how bad the episode was. The Keiko episode.
Are you talking about Keiko becoming getting taken over by the Pi Wrath?
Yes. That episode took me 3 weeks to finish.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those.
But in relation to that, though, it definitely does confirm that the creatures that took over Gamble were Pa Rays.
You need a cough drop?
Because of some of the lines that she said during the show.
Yeah.
Occurred, like the removing of the eyes and things like that. And I'm like, yep. That are the Par race, and she dropped a name on there as well, that referred to that episode from Strange New World. So I think that's kind of cool that they did that reverse Easter egg story arc, I guess.
It's really not reverse Easter egg. Technically they're just following the canon, right?
It's a reverse Easter egg for us watching it. It's not a reverse Easter egg because Strange New Worlds clearly takes place before Discovery.
Oh, it's just an Easter
DS9.
egg because kind of like with the Sulu sword thing, it's an Easter egg for you watching it the second time or rewatch because you probably watched TOS and saw all the Sulu sword stuff from the olden days that had slipped your mind. And then hearing her say that about Sulu being the sword guy, then you put it all together and you're like,
right. It's something like that. It was very much like a Doctor Who reverse forward storyline as well,
effect
with Dr. Song
and cause, not cause and effect.
Yes. But I think that was pretty dope.
So you watched Trials and Tribulations Well, I forgot the name of the DS9 version.
It's called Trials and Tribulations. Yeah. I got to the point where they all met up with Worf and Odo at the bar, and Worf was about to explain why the Klingons of the past had smooth heads, and I closed my eyes for a minute, just to, like, rub my eyes, and the next thing you know, I'm waking up, and there's Dax, and they're talking about something else, and Odo got punched, and I was just like, I don't know what
they don't explain it though.
Going on. Why what? Why the Vulcans are
why the Klingons look so different?
Wasn't it like a virus or something?
Because go back to watch Enterprise with Song. Was it Song? It's explained. It started in Enterprise when they try to make the virus. They try to make a bioweapon using Dr. Song's augments.
Okay.
And they
so basically they
trying to make an antivirus, and he's like, well, you know, we got to do this now, and he's pressuring them to get the virus, the vaccine made or whatever, and so Phlox is like, yo, there's more testing that has to be done. They're like, no, it's getting tested now, and I'm going to be the first one, and the Klingon injects themselves, and it works. But at the same time, it's a bioweapon that's designed for humans and human augmentation, and it augments the Klingon physiology, and it removes their forehead ridges. So it makes them look basically more human.
So it's like a whole Planet of the Apes situation.
Kind of, for those that were infected that received the vaccine. But the problem is that then when they had kids, it carried on. So it took several generations for them to all get their ridges back.
So they originally had ridges. They took this vaccine or this chemical that they thought would enhance them in some way.
Right. Let me see if I can find the episode.
It made them look like humans.
It was meant to burn off an infection.
Okay.
That was infecting the entire Klingon planet because they just got in some dumb shit, and like I said, they kidnapped Phlox and made him go through it. Yeah. And the guy was like, Phlox was like, hey, it's not ready. Stop fucking around. You're gonna fuck around and find out. And they're like, damn you whatever. And the guy took it anyway because I think his son was one of the exposed victims. And he's like, well, I'm going to test this on myself. And he injected himself with it. Denobulin, yeah. Phlox was a Denobulin. I probably could have just Googled this faster than trying to go through.
Well, while you're doing that, we can talk about augments in Khan, the audio series. What are we at now? Yeah. Episode 6?
I didn't.
I believe so.
I fell asleep.
You haven't heard it yet?
Mm-mm.
Man, how'd you not hear it yet?
I was listening to it and then.
Understandable. This one was kind of at least to me, it felt like it was a little slow.
Well, I'm at first I kind of liked the Khan audio series, but more and more I'm thinking, what are they trying to do to this guy? Right? Like many people consider Khan the greatest villain in Star Trek history. Like one of the greatest villains in like all of, like across many genres of Hollywood. But what they're doing in this audio series is they're trying to make it look like he wasn't a villainous guy at heart. They're trying to make it look like he was a good guy that just got put in.
But he wasn't.
Right.
He was one of the augments created by Dr. Song.
The whole
I just
show.
found it.
Now I'm questioning the whole show because so the purpose what doesn't make sense to me is there's this Dr. Lear, right? So she goes to Starfleet and says, "Hey, can I have permission to go do some research on what happened with Khan on SETI Alpha 5? And I want to see if like, you know, like is there more to the story?" Which that none of that makes sense to me because Khan was like this ruler on Earth who basically ruled like half the planet at one point, right?
Where are you getting that from? You're mixing up the real Genghis Khan with Star Trek Khan. You do know that, right?
No, but didn't he rule like the whole Middle East and Asia?
No, that was the real Genghis Khan.
No,
not
no,
Star
I'm
Trek
not talking.
Khan.
No, he did.
No, he didn't. Star Trek's Khan had a small empire, not the entire Middle East or Asia or any of that. It was he basically was a tyrant, and it took over. He didn't rule the planet, otherwise we would not have Star Trek.
I said he ruled a portion of the planet.
He didn't rule a portion of the planet. He just ruled this kingdom of people.
All right.
That was it.
And
so anyway,
he was murderous.
Oh, man, that's debatable. No, it's not debatable. He did kill people. But
right.
he wasn't Jason or Freddy Krueger murderous. He murdered people that had to be murdered.
Yeah, but at least Freddy Krueger and Jason, you can say no. See, look, IB just confirmed. He ruled almost 3/4 of the planet. Come on now.
I don't think
don't try to make me sound crazy.
I am going to make you sound crazy. IB, you're going to have to come up with some factoids on that. Drop some links in the chat.
This is from Wikipedia.
Is a factoid.
Khan controlled more than 1/4 of the Earth during that eugenics war of the 1990s.
All right, so let's just say,
that's not the majority of the world. That
okay, but it's more than what you're saying. You're saying he ran like a trailer park.
No, I did not say that either. I said he had an empire. He even mentioned he had an empire. He had a kingdom
1/4 of the Earth. Let's say, worst case scenarios, it was 1/4 of the Earth. That's still a lot of the damn Earth. All right.
Let me ask you this: How much does China
and Karen says
rule?
AI Google search it also confirms.
Okay. But did you know that he was created by Dr. Sung, who also made Data?
Right.
No. Okay, but I'm not questioning any of like why he was bad. I'm not questioning, right? They chemicaled him up or whatever, right? They made him in a lab. They took away probably his sensitivity lobe, the medulla oblongata, whatever that is.
You just zoomed it. All right. I gotta pause for a second because it's gonna bug me. Are you wearing an undershirt underneath?
No.
Are you wearing a black undershirt?
No, it's not. I'm not wearing a black undershirt.
Oh, is that all
That's
one piece?
part of the shirt?
This is one piece.
Oh.
Dude, why the hell does it look like you got a fight and got your shirt like ripped off by like
because I did rip it when I was putting it on. I don't know why the hole was so small. I couldn't get my head in there.
Magic, that's a good point. Mine is I have an undershirt underneath it.
That's just a collar.
Yeah. See, PVG's looks right. Yours looks like you just got bullied.
This is the shirt.
Is that a Rubies? I think there was a Rubies and there was a Rubies Deluxe, and I got the Rubies Deluxe.
I don't know. Tom's shirt does not look right though.
It looks better when I'm standing up, but yeah, when I'm sitting down, it gets all bunched up.
Looks like it looks like you're wearing a female V-neck uniform on top of a black t-shirt.
No, this is just a onesie.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, back to the whole concept.
Oh, okay. So I'm not questioning. I'm not questioning that they lab created Khan. And yes, they messed. His brain probably had some, I guess, aggressive tendencies. But what doesn't make sense to me when it comes to Khan, the audio series, is why are they just looking at the time he was on SETI Alpha 5, right? Because he had the same personality disorder or whatever it is when he was on Earth. So
Dude,
why not
it's
look
not about Khan?
What's it about? Kirk?
It's about the repercussions. Khan is the consequence. You got to look at the cause. Why is Khan there? How did that happen? He's the victim in this situation.
Oh, he's the victim.
But he's portrayed as you're a villain, this is your punishment. It's the same thing that I talked about last time. And even Tuvok in the podcast mentioned it again. How the hell did Starfleet not recognize that the next planet over was not geologically stable enough to withstand X amount of years? Why would you imprison somebody in the planet right next to it? You know it's in the blast radius.
Nobody cares.
Why would
That's
you?
Why.
No. Hold on. See, that's what the story's about. That's what the scientist is about. And at the end of the episode, hey, spoiler alert, the aliens that Khan meets are still alive, and they're the ones that gave the chick the tapes.
Right.
Now, look at the time frame where this is occurring at, where you're probably around, because they don't really give a star date.
We're playing
I'm
a game.
going to say Section 31. But is this possibly an IB? Karen, IB, let me know. What is the start date of the timeline of where Sulu and Tuvok are? What timeline are what is their start date? What is their era? Because they're obviously not on the Enterprise.
Well, it's clearly it's before Tuvok goes to Voyager, and it's after Wrath of Khan, right?
Obviously, yes. So what starship is Tuvok on where he's under Sulu?
There.
So
Karen,
3 months
Karen
after
says
Kirk died.
3 months after Kirk died.
So this would have been right. So they're on the Excelsior. All right. So right after Generations then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, what else happened at around that time in Starfleet history? Did Picard have to run into a crystalline entities, other aliens that are questioning, hey, can we trust Starfleet? Can we trust the Federation? We saw what happened to our kinfolk, our scouting party that came here, and we saw what you did with this prisoner. You put him on a planet. Oh, you weren't aware of that? You didn't know that your government did this? Well, here's the tapes. That's what I'm saying. That's what I personally think is happening here, is that this other entity is saying, hey, we're looking at making contact with Starfleet or the Federation, but it looks like a major thing happened that had a high impact on your society, that you're under one impression this is why it happened, and in reality this is the truth.
But what is that thing that happened?
Starfleet abandoned Khan on
Who cares?
planet, knowing
nobody
that
cares,
it was
though. That's the point. Is nobody cares that Starfleet abandoned Khan. A normal person would have said, send Khan and his people out of the airlock.
A normal person would say that until they realize Khan really was not all that bad. We made Khan.
We made him, but he was that bad.
Because we made him that bad.
Okay, but
all right.
At
So
that
here,
point,
I'll put it to a way
send him out of the airlock.
Easier. Let's say you have
if
a
you
kid.
burn a pizza, are you going to eat that pizza or are you going to throw it away?
Depends on how hungry you are.
I was going to say the same thing.
Depends on how hungry you are. But let's look at it this way. You have a kid and you breed that kid to be a military, ultra realistic, not have emotions, basically be a complete warrior to fight your neighbor, that you have a problem. You have the problem with the neighbor, not your kid, but you raise your kid to hate your neighbor and to fight your neighbor and to be cruel to your neighbor, do everything against your neighbor. But then as life goes on, that kid grows up, they're now 18, 20, whatever, and they're all about, going after your neighbor. But then you decide, we're all good. We don't need that anymore. And you just say that in passing one day in the kitchen. After 20 some odd years of teaching your kid, hate the neighbor, do everything you can to destroy the neighbor, take them down. If you can embarrass them, embarrass them. If you can throw a rock at them, throw a rock at them. Do everything against your neighbor. And then you decide one day, I'm all good. We're good. You don't need to do that. And then you just leave. You spent 20 years building them up to be one thing, and in less than 5 minutes, you decide, we're good. And you expect that kid to turn it off. And now you're upset. Now,
I'm not upset.
Hold on. Now you're upset because the kid didn't turn it off. The kid thought it was one of your
No, you would know that
test.
The kid can't turn it off, which means you have to take things into your own hands.
I'm not done. Now, the kid thinks it's one of your little psyop tests. He says, well, obviously you're an idiot. Old man's crazy. I'm going to continue to do what I do. And then you start getting mad because he doesn't listen to you anymore. Because you spent 20 years building up to do one thing, 5 minutes telling him to stop, and he doesn't. And then you say, okay, if you don't stop, I'm going to go ahead and you know what? You're mad at me because I didn't explain why we had to stop. I didn't do anything. I didn't spend more than 15 minutes telling you no. And you're mad about that because you didn't teach him how to be a grown man and how to deal with his emotions. Because you told him real men and warriors don't have emotions.
Well, plus his engineering, his engineering in his brain didn't allow that kind of emotion.
Hey, that's all on you. You made him that way.
Right. No, and what I'm saying is at some point you have to unplug him.
And now he's coming back saying, obviously, you've been compromised. I need to take you out. Because logically speaking, 25 years of you telling me to do one thing and 5 minutes of you telling me to do another, you're compromised. Whatever you say is bullshit. I need to take you out. So now you say, well, okay, if you don't do this, I'm going to go ahead and put you on an island near Japan and during the hurricane season. Oh, there's animals there. You'll be able to live. There's no society around you. No one will be able to bother you. You could do whatever you want. You can bring your little friends with you. But you know for a fact it's in the middle of hurricane season and tsunami seasons. And you know for a fact that island is very likely going to get hit by a tsunami. And tragically, they're going to be lost. They're not going to survive. They have low probability of survival. But you want to come off as the good guy to everybody else. Oh, well, DJ Tommy did everything he could do. He did everything he could do. They just rebelled. You try to spin it one way versus the truth.
No, the truth is they can't be turned off.
That hurricane.
If you program a robot and that robot starts killing people,
not a robot though, but it's a kid.
It is a robot. It's a robot.
Not a robot. It's not a robot.
The augment is essentially a programmed being.
It's not. It's a programmed being. It's not a robot. It's still a human being.
Right.
It's still a person. You could still kill it.
But at some point,
blood.
You do have to pull the plug.
At some point,
if you can't control it, you got to pull the plug.
No. You need to be the one that created it.
You can't.
You need to take responsibility for it. Did Khan make himself? Yes or no?
But the first part of taking responsibility is fixing the problem. You got to fix the problem first.
Create this problem. Yeah.
Yes. Then they got to by taking care of the problem. Then they can go back and reconcile.
Look, Starfleet could stop being little bitches and just put a bullet in his head, but they didn't because they're too much of little bitches.
That's their mistake.
Save face. That is, they want to save face. They want to be, oh no, we're gonna give them a nice little island where they can live Oh, we don't know about that other planet that has earthquakes every 5 minutes. Oh, it looks like it's geologically stable. Oh, they're fine. But the rest of the Federation looks at Starfleet like, oh, you did a grand thing. You did a great thing. You nurtured them. Oh, you did what you could. Knowing that that planet was going to explode and kill your problem.
Well, maybe they knew. I guess maybe we'll find out. I don't know if we'll find out.
And that's the thing. That entity, and even Tuvok said, if you're questioning Sulu and whether or not he knew about it, you know, that's Tuvok says it in the story. Hey, if you're questioning him, maybe Captain Sulu is not being all out honest because of his attachment to Captain Kirk and his loyalty to Captain Kirk. But
maybe Captain Kirk didn't know. It doesn't
make sense.
Do you think Captain Kirk knew?
I don't think Captain Kirk. I think Captain Kirk knew something was going to be done. I think he wanted plausible deniability.
I don't know.
I see that as complete bullshit, as that they did not know that the planet was going to blow up.
What they should have done.
I see it as complete bullshit because every other planetary system that they explored,
they should have put them on SETI Alpha 6.
What they should have done is put them back to sleep in cryogenics and then continue to figure out and then finalize what their final plan is to do with them.
Chat doesn't think they knew.
I think they did.
According to Khan, they did.
Khan thinks they knew?
I mean, the podcast
Tuvok and the chick. I think the chick is beginning to think that Starfleet knew.
That's the impression I'm getting.
But what still doesn't make sense to me about the premise of the show is, so what? Who cares? Like, whether Starfleet knew or not, who cares?
Side, because that opens the dark side of Starfleet that people refuse to see.
But it's not that dark. Khan was a murderer. He tried to take over the Enterprise.
Choosing not to leave the Matrix.
Then he came back.
That is completely on you.
He came back and tried to
the Matrix. Yo, go take the red pill.
I'm just saying.
You're literally the guy that left the Matrix and want to go back into the Matrix.
Khan can never be trusted. Khan can never be a part of society. He's always going to come back and try to murder her.
Regardless.
At some point.
Then quit being a little bitch.
Yeah, I mean, they should have killed him.
Quit being a bitch.
It would have been easier had they just killed him.
Yeah, or they could have. There's so many other things they could have done.
But the easiest thing would have been to just kill him in Space Seed. Airlock.
Really? Why?
Because.
Look at La'an. La'an's tied to Soong and Khan.
Yeah, but she was already born.
Can she not be trusted?
We'll find out. I don't know. What
I'm saying is that
she's not gonna make it until outside of Strange New Worlds. Something happens.
I'm saying this. They could have done so many other things. And the fact of the matter is, you want to live. If you don't want to question anything, then you want to live with your head in the ground. You want to be an ostrich. You want to go back into the Matrix. You got a glimpse of the reality. No, that's not it. You say, I don't want reality. I want to go back to the Matrix. I want to live my dull, illusionary life and eat steak.
But what you're suggesting is to let Khan just kill people and it's okay.
No, what I'm saying has nothing to do with Khan. What I'm saying is acknowledge the fact that Starfleet or another outside entity pulled the strings and set up what happened to Khan and then covered it up for millennia.
Maybe.
What I'm saying is realizing that Starfleet is not this rosy, ultra-tralistic paradise that everybody for years has kept saying that it is. Realize that they're not the end-all be-all. It's not a paradise. It's not a...
Well, there's no such thing as any paradise. Nobody is a paradise.
What I'm saying is everyone wanted Star Trek to be this great society. There's no wars, there's no evil corruption, there's no nothing. You have the good guys, you have the bad guys. Well, what happens when you realize that the good guys are also the bad guys?
The bottom line is it's always good against evil. And Starfleet is supposedly good, not,
And what happens when they're not?
Exactly.
What happens,
I guess evil is more evil.
Yeah, how would you feel if and that's what this podcast is getting into, and that's also what Strange New Worlds was getting into, and Discovery got into, and definitely Picard got into. It's not this end all be all. We're the greatest out there. We are the good guys. We will always be the good guys, and everyone else is the bad guys, or they're friends of us, the good guys. It's not that black and white. There is that gray area, because what happens when you realize that, oh shit, the dude that got into Malcolm's ear, because remember, Malcolm got contacted by that secret society before any of these other people did. They started pulling the strings. Look at on, what was it, DS9. You had the one guy that was there that turned out to be a founder. And he had been on the series for 2 seasons now in random places. And you were like, well, how the fuck did this happen? When you go back after you realize, oh, that was a changeling. And then you go back and like, oh, that dude was secretly in the scene, just sitting in the background, had no lines in the scene, but he was visually there. And then you're like, oh, well, that's how the transporter went offline.
Let's talk about SETI Alpha 6.
What do you want to talk about?
So you got this advanced alien, right? This what are they called? The Albanians or whatever. No, I'm good. The aliens that are that landed on SETI Alpha 5. They crash landed on SETI Alpha 5 because they got caught in the explosion of SETI Alpha 6. So why didn't their sensors pick it up? Why didn't their sensors pick up that SETI Alpha 6 was going to explode? And they seem more advanced. The Elborians.
I don't think it mattered to them. I think they had a means to protect themselves.
No, but what I'm saying is, if they couldn't detect that SETI Alpha 6 was going to explode, how was Starfleet supposed to predict it?
Because again, they
gotcha, bitch.
No, they didn't. They didn't care.
The Elborians could not predict that the planet was going to explode. They got caught in the wake of the explosion.
Not care. The Elborians had technology to, even if it did explode and hit the planet. Now, mind you, when SETI Alpha 6 exploded, it's not going to destroy SETI Alpha 5.
No, but it caused the Elborians to crash land.
It was going to make the planet uninhabitable to humans. To the Elborians, it didn't matter. They already knew that there were underground places there. They already knew that they could live there for years and years. They didn't require the same things that humans did. They could mentally block debris from falling on them because they're mentally moving their ship and debris around with their minds.
All right.
To them, it didn't matter. And they were banned. Sorry, they weren't banned. They were... I'm still interested to find out what the Elborians are, because
they're obviously powerful.
They are, but what I'm saying is they said they were not banned. They said there's another word for it.
Yeah, they were like outcasts.
Right. So my question is what exactly?
Well, in this newest episode 6, the Elborian leader kind of has this conversation with Khan where he explains that they're rebuilding their ship but not for them. They're rebuilding it so Khan and his people can leave the planet. Now, he did tell Khan that they could probably survive for 5 years in the caves. So they
Oh, snap. Hold on a second. So the Alborians may have been, I wonder if they're related to the Elorians from the Delta Quadrant, which is guidance species. So I just Googled them to find out where they're from. And it's saying the Elorians are from the Delta Quadrant. And that's why I'm like, And Alborians, based on Karen's spelling, came up as well. So I'm wondering if they're, what was the planet from the Star Trek movie? It's not Insurrection. The one with the stretchy face people.
Oh, I can't think of the name of that planet. I have to ask Trek.
Well, I'm trying to think of the movie.
Insurrection?
I don't. It may have been Insurrection.
The Sona?
Yes, and you know how they had another planet, a neighboring planet. I'm wondering if the Elorians and Elborians are neighboring planets.
Baku.
The Baku, yeah. So that's why I'm wondering if the Elorians are related to the Elborians, which is a species that is here now. And one develops psychic powers like the Elborians, and the others are Elorian because they live long lifespans. So, I sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, it could be. But Khan doesn't like the idea that the Elborians are fixing their ship so that they can leave the planet, so that after, because I guess after they can only survive on SETI Alpha 5 for 5 more years, is what the Elborian leader tells them.
Exactly. The humans can only survive there for 5 more years.
And he says, we're going to fix our ship, but for you to leave the planet, not for us.
Right.
And Khan doesn't seem to like that idea. Which to me doesn't make sense. Like, why not just leave and go find another planet?
I mean, isn't that how they're found in Space Seed?
And maybe that's what ends up happening, right? Maybe they do change their mind. Khan might change his mind and say, all right, fine, we'll take the ship. Because they have to get off that planet somehow.
Right. And we never find out which ship. Well, let me back up. I don't remember the name of the ship that they're found on.
You're talking about the original ship in Space Seed?
Yeah.
The Botany Bay.
Botany Bay?
Yeah.
So then how do they get off? Yeah, then we're at an impasse. And this is the benefit of a prequel show.
All right.
Because right now we know he's on the planet. How does he get on the Botany Bay then if this planet's about to be uninhabitable in 5 years and these aliens are making it? Because when we pick up on the Wrath of Khan, the ship is on the Botany Bay. So does that mean he gets caught again? Because that's Karen, the one where Chekhov is like, wait, I heard of this ship.
Khan and his people get off SETI Alpha 5, right? Or do they come down to get them? I forgot how
I don't know.
I forgot how it plays out in Wrath of Khan. Does somebody go to SETI Alpha 5 to get Khan? Is it the Excelsior?
Yeah.
Hold on.
They were analyzing the planet to make sure that there was no living organisms so they could test a Genesis device. And then they found something and they beamed down to investigate, and that's what happened.
Okay. So maybe Khan doesn't leave the planet, but the Elborians do. And that's how the Elborians can communicate to that Dr. Reed to tell her, hey, you should investigate this.
Khan does not get off SETI Alpha 5 on his own. He is rescued after 15 years when the USS Reliant accidentally discovers the planet while on a mission for Project Genesis.
Okay.
The crew of the Reliant, mistaking the planet for SETI Alpha 6, is taken prisoner by Khan, who then hijacks the ship and leaves the crew stranded.
Okay. That's all a little like too coincidental.
Captain Kirk says exiles Khan and his followers to SETI Alpha 5 to start a new civilization. The explosion of SETI Alpha 6 months after Khan's exile, the neighboring planet SETI Alpha 6 explodes, altering the orbit of SETI Alpha 5 and turning it into a desert wasteland.
Because we should watch that at some point. I guess I need to do a rewatch of Space Seeds and The Wrath of Khan. I have watched Wrath of Khan recently, maybe like within the last 6 months, but the details are foggy. So maybe I'll do that rewatch. But so what, I mean, that aside, right? Khan, does it bother anybody that Khan is supposed to be this just rule by fist leader, and he's very controllable by, like, Marla, right? Can just say things like, "Oh, please don't do that, Khan." He's like, "All right, fine, I won't do it." Like, that doesn't seem very Khan-like to me. Like, have they really softened him up?
No, because I think you're looking at this as an absolute. I've seen people that you think are the hardest, baddest people in the world cave when it comes to being told to do something by someone that they love. Whether it's their wife, definitely when it's something with their kid. Usually it's their daughters. They're like, okay, I'll do this for you because you asked me not to do this. I will do this for you. And I think that's what Khan's doing. I think for everybody else, he is, rule by fist. I am your king. I'm your king. I'm your ruler. But if so-and-so says, please don't do this, here's why, and they make a logical enough explanation to them, they change. They're a big teddy bear.
That, and if Khan thinks it'll be to his advantage in the future, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He sees these things as, okay, I can see this being an advantage in the future. If there was no advantage at all, I would not do it, right. And you're just going to have to suffer with the consequences. But everything that she has asked him to do has been for the benefit of the overall kingdom. He wants to save face. He wants to be the, I can't show any weakness. I want to win this by brute force. And she says, you don't have to. You can do this strategically. You can do this politically without waging war, without bloodshed. You can accomplish the exact same goal. You don't think so?
He just seems too soft. It's not Khan-like. Khan is very, he's got a way about him.
It's probably what Khan wants you to make you think. And then when it's time, he comes and grabs you.
He's very
like your shirt.
Like, he's very fierce. Like, in his conversations with the Elborian, though, he's basically saying, this is my planet and I control my people. If you want to share this planet, you control your people, I'll control my people.
But then, unbeknownst to him, his people went off on their own and killed one of the other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a plus and a minus. Obviously, he found out alone that they could take out those people. Because at any one time, after that dude died, after the Alborian was killed, they could be like, you know what? Let me get 10 good people. We're gonna go over to this camp and we're gonna fuck them all up and be done with this. And
Just
they
gotta
could
get
have
'em
done
one by
that
one.
and wiped them out.
Yeah,
But they
one
did
by
it.
one, they're basically powerless.
Right. So I mean, it's shitty that happened. But I think this is part of the. This comes down to the writing aspect of it. Is changing how people, and I mean our society, saw Khan. Because according to the TOS series and the Wrath of Khan, yeah, he's this big, bad, evil guy. Just full evil all the time. And that's not the case. He was conflicted on
But he
some
did
things,
admit.
but you never knew that.
He did admit if he could have overpowered them and killed them, he would have.
Because that's what it was programmed to do.
Right.
But he didn't.
So that's why I don't understand why this Dr. Reed on Sulu's ship is still like, okay, you just heard in his own words that he would have murdered the Albanians, or Elborians, or what were they called? Yeah, he would have murdered them if he could. And one of his people did murder one of them. And this is a species that is trying to help them, but they still say they would, murder them, or they are murdering them, or whatever.
If it weren't for Marla Givers.
Right. So like this Dr. Reed.
What happens when Marla Givers stops giving up the poontang for him to have a kid, and then that kid have another kid, and then generate more people, because already they've just lost the first kid.
Right.
So there was hope of pregnancy, and now that chick's like, I'm not going through that pain again. So Marla is right now one of their only hopes of, growing this society. And she called it being a broodmare.
I think the Telosians, Karen's asking if they're
2 kids.
Karen's asking if they're related to the Telosians. If they're related to the Telosians, then they're a much weaker version, because the Telosians were basically godlike. But I think the Telosians needed some type of technology, didn't they? Like there was some type of technology that gave them the power of that illusion, that they could, they could do like the illusions and stuff, make you think you were seeing things.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is, it comes down to this. Everybody thought Khan is a big, bad, evil dude until you find these tapes where he's not the big, bad, evil dude. And as you like to say, the victor writes the history until facts show the real history. So what's going to happen when the facts come out that Starfleet was the big bad out of this whole thing? Not Khan. Khan did some bad shit. Khan killed some people. So is the Federation. So is Starfleet. So the Vulcan.
See, my point is, everybody already knows Starfleet messed up. Everybody already knows that, or whoever was responsible for the eugenics.
Nope.
Who created Khan? Was it Starfleet?
It was, but not to the level there. You took a slap on the wrist. You're comparing a slap on the wrist to a lifetime in jail. Starfleet took a slap on the wrist. Our bad. We won't do it again. Versus, yeah, we set this whole thing in motion. Now, whether or not Starfleet did that of themselves, or if they were pressured into that or moved into those positions by another entity behind the scenes, we have yet to find out. Yes, take another drink.
What would you have suggested?
Hold on.
What are you suggesting? They pay reparations?
When writer revisits characters too much, they don't cut substance.
Well, yeah, IB is saying, why are we revisiting these characters that are already established? We should leave them alone.
Because you, just like right now, you don't know how Khan got off the planet.
Well, we do know now the Reliant.
So then how'd he get on the Botany Bay?
They
Kirk
stole
put
that.
him in. Oh, yeah.
No, they stole the Botany Bay. That was a ship that they stole like from Earth.
Then how did Chekhov know about the Botany Bay when he got onto the planet?
Well, because Kirk found the Botany Bay floating in space. Yeah.
What is, I was,
Yeah.
yeah, my whole screen just
What
went
are you-
like,
what are
hold
you
on, I
sighing
can't
about
see
over
anything.
here?
The people that put Khan and his people on the Botany Bay, why didn't they just blow him up?
What you wearing? A Skechers slip-ons? Sorry. I
Oh,
got
shit.
distracted.
I got to
They're
look for my
easy.
Skechers
I
slip
got
on.
distracted by
that should be
PVG's
delivered.
shoes.
Better than the flip
What model you guys? Show us your Skechers, PVG.
Oh, these are
The
nice.
top,
I
I
don't
need to
have
see
to
the
bend
top.
down.
No, they're
Check
nice
these
looking.
out.
Yeah, they're nice looking.
Huh? You just slip them on, slip them
Oh,
off.
I think I may those may be the ones that are coming to my house right now.
Oh.
See?
Oh, don't sleep on Skechers, man.
No, I got Skechers.
Oh, Skechers are the best. Slip on, slip off. You don't have to bend over. No Velcro.
They have like a whole industrial sector too. Skechers. Skechers are
Look at
everywhere.
that. It's 10 stops away.
Oh, see, that means it's right there.
No, it's not. That's there's a whole hood
Oh,
neighborhood
10,
around there. Anyway,
10 stops.
yeah, I think the whole thing is Colin,
Yeah.
you're comparing a slap on the wrist to a whole controversy of this is not the big happy family you thought Starfleet was. And it would be really, really, really awesome if the new Starfleet Academy showed that. Showed a little I mean, you already got cracks in the armor. What the hell? I have no idea who that was. You already got cracks in the armor coming through on various shows. I really hope they do a full-on show showing those cracks in the armor.
I mean, I think
So,
every
hey,
show
you know what?
has,
Section 31's behind all this.
besides Voyager, I think every show does have a little bit of, like,
Dark side.
yeah. DS9 probably has the most because it gets into a lot of the street level kind of stuff that goes on. But Picard, not the new Picard, but like TNG, maybe not TNG so much because they don't really get into.
TNG had a couple. They had a couple of Section 31 episodes in there. You had like the whole Jericho thing. I totally see that whole Jericho thing was. I see that the Jericho probably was a willing participant in Section 31. That's what I think. But you had a couple of episodes that had a little bit of dark tones to it. Like, why would you hide your flagship from, battles just because you had a captain that was compromised that recovered? Wolf 359. You got a couple things, and then you go into Voyager had a couple of cracks in the armor. You had Tuvok going undercover, ironically enough, tying all the way back to Khan again. You had a couple of other agents, I think, that came up under Voyager. You had the Omega Protocol that showcased in Voyager. Why would you limit that to only captains? Because what happens if you're a research vessel and you're out doing research and you find that particle and you have no idea about the Omega Protocol?
What was that team of cadets? The red, the ones
Red
that
Squad.
Yeah. Like even in that episode of DS9 where the changelings tried to take over and then
Yes.
Cisco and Odo went to Earth to lead like security. And Red Squad was the one that was actually blowing up like the power grids and stuff on Earth.
here was my biggest question on that. Why would you make Cisco in charge of Earth planetary defense?
Right,
Why would you
he
take
has
a
the most
captain or a
experience with the
lieutenant
changelings
from a space station next to the Gamma Quadrant? Why would you bring him all the way back to Earth to oversee planetary defense of Earth? Motherfucker ain't been back to Earth other than a vacation in years.
That made no sense.
And why would you bring him back temporarily? Also, it wasn't a, hey, we're pulling you back. This is your permanent station. This is a TDY assignment, basically.
Right.
You're going
Special
back for
assignment.
2 weeks. That doesn't make any kind of sense.
Well,
Again,
maybe the strategy or strategics were similar.
No. What really didn't make sense is why, because obviously that Air Admiral was behind the whole thing. Why would he have a ploy to bring in, and he was in some kind of cahoots, right, with the changelings, or he was a changeling. Why would they bring in the guy, the person that probably had the most experience with changelings to lead security? Like, that just made no sense. Mm-hmm. Bring in some idiot captain to take over security, who's not going to be able to, that knows nothing about changelings. And then also Cisco brought a changeling with him. None of that writing made sense. Like, who came up with this idea that a changeling admiral trying to foil the Federation would say, oh, let's bring the best captain that with the most experience in fighting changelings. Let's bring him. And
all the way back home.
Right. That
Not
just
on the
made
front
no
lines
sense.
where he could help them. Oh, and mind you, he's also the prophet of the wormhole that the changelings are coming through. Let's go ahead and bring him all the way back to Earth.
Yeah, that's
instead of leaving
just,
him where he could do the most good.
That's kind of like forcing plot points where they make no sense.
Right. But again, this is one of the cracks in the armor that Starfleet is this, oh, we're the best at everything. We are the euphoric, era that we're at,
JC,
these are cracks in the armor
JC
that need to be
in the chat.
Welcome,
West Virginia.
Hello, JC.
Hey, by the way, episode 36 coming at you live.
And Karen is correct. Yeah, they did want Cisco to know that they could cause chaos with only four of them there. But
I mean, a changeling, if you think about having the power of a changeling, should be able to cause ultimate chaos.
Then the question is, why is it decades later, no real protocol has been set up that allowed what happened in season 3 of Picard to happen?
36.
I need to design a Section 31 shirt.
All right. Let me switch screens here.
Let me make a Section 31 intramural co-ed softball team shirt.
We're Section 36 tonight. We're live, by the way, if you're watching us on Sunday night, October 19th. And what was I going to say? Oh, if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do.
And like and share.
We'd appreciate it. We are slowly growing. We started off with 0 subscribers in February of 2025. So February of this year, we started with 0 subscribers. And I think as of today, we're at like 285.
Nice.
It's incredible. We're all fishing on the same side of the boat.
Well, then
Karen, I agree with that.
Yeah, we would capsize.
Either that or the secret society of Section 13
There you go.
from the Terran universe knew that we weren't defeated, and we're just waiting to strike.
Hey, I checked on the brackets. Take
So
a look
did
at
I.
take a look at some of these brackets. I mean, it's
I didn't. Wait, is the second bracket? Is there a different?
no.
bracket?
This is still the first. This is still the first set. Kirk
Okay.
over Janeway at 100%. Where's
Okay.
all you Janeway supporters out there? I know I see a lot of them on TikTok.
LaForge.
LaForge. Oh, LaForge over Scotty?
Wow.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
No, I think I voted for LaForge.
Riker.
I'm pretty sure I did too.
That Riker over Spock,
Wow.
that was, I don't know about that one.
Man, I mean,
Thanks, IB. Thanks for the support. JC Onset. Oh, yeah, we can get together and talk about your stream.
I think
Riker
Yeah, I
over
don't-
Spock. Is everyone shocked like I am?
Yeah, I am.
all right. So if this is
But
kind of
we're
what I was
talking
saying,
TOS Spock.
right?
still-
That's what I was
Right,
trying to
yeah.
say
OG.
before. Is we need to get the cast down before we put the bracket out, because there's TOS Spock and then there's Kelvin Spock. Or
Yeah, but do
Strange
you
New
think
World
Riker
Spock.
would still win?
Oh, not over Strange New World Spock. Fuck no.
I don't know about that. Riker.
I don't think
man.
Riker would win
Riker?
over Kelvin Spock either.
I think it's how he put it.
Come on, man.
I think it's
Riker
how he
would
puts his.
definitely win over TOS Spock. Yes.
It's how
I
he.
don't think he could win.
Over
I don't
Kelvin
think he
Spock?
could win over Strange New World Spock. I think it's a 50-50 over Kelvin Spock.
I think it's the way Riker drapes his leg over the
I mean,
chair.
Spock. Does Spock have
The
a Spock
Riker-
maneuver?
The
Spock
Riker
doesn't
maneuver.
have a Spock maneuver. But he does have a Vulcan nerve pinch. Any
What?
other
How you gonna put
shockers in there?
M'Benga? How you gonna put Phlox over M'Benga?
I mean, you must have voted for it.
Wow.
It's
I thought this
100%.
was a practice test. I didn't think it
Well,
was the
then
real
you
one.
voted for Phlox over Mbenga in the practice.
No, I was just clicking stuff. That's what I was saying. We need to. That's what I was saying.
All
you
right.
know, let us know when to go live. So, because my vote.
All right, let's look at a couple couple
wait.
more of these. Nurse Chapel over Culber. No one's shocked there. 100-0. Archer over Saru. That's no shocker. Stamets,
over Hemmer.
Stamets and Pelia 50-50. That's kind of a shocker. I thought people would like Stamets. I
Fuck
can't.
no.
Who likes Pelia? Pelia.
I like Pelia.
Oh, there's
She's
a-
funny as shit.
Okay. No, I guess she's funny. Number 1 over to Paul. Are you shocked by number 1 over to Paul?
No, I voted for number 1.
Okay.
Actually, I think it should have been 50-50.
Who'd you vote for, to Paul?
Well, they both need spankings.
EMH. Oh, EMH over Bashir?
Yes, definitely.
I like that.
I think I voted for EMH. Quark over. Oh, no. Quark and Neelix are tied. I'm kind of shocked by that
I
one.
voted Quark.
Yeah, who would vote for Neelix? Okay.
I don't know.
McCoy over Crusher. No one. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Picard over Pike. I'm surprised it's 75-25. I would have think it was 100-0 on Picard.
What?
I would have
Pike?
thought 50-50.
Strange New World Pike.
No, I'm
Strange
Pike.
New World Pike can't make a decision. He's got to ask his crew for help.
Picard does as well.
Not really.
Yes, really.
I guess it's a way of command. Different ways of command.
Which they do show.
O'Brien. Wow, O'Brien with the slap down over Balana.
I
Gets it done.
mean, I think it's the attitude that's. O'Brien's a yes man. Balana's a who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah. Plus, O'Brien's a war hero, right? What's his title? The champion of
I have no idea what his title is.
He's got like some little moniker because he defeated the Kardashians.
Chakotay over Kira.
Well, yeah, Chakotay. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
That's Chakotay. We all voting for Chakotay.
Cisco over Burnham.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Oh, I mean, there's some votes for Burnham, though.
Tucker and Hemmer.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Who voted for Hemmer? Didn't he only last like one season?
A couple episodes.
Okay. What was he, an Andorian? Hemmer?
Yeah.
I think the problem with this is the fact that you have all 4 shows and you don't have all 4 counterparts.
Well, it's interesting though to see the battles that we do have here. Like the LaForge over Scotty. Like that's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I voted for LaForge. Can we call him Jordy?
Jordy.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Let's go to the next slide. Crewman Patty made a public appearance this week.
Look at that.
Look at Crewman Patty out and about wearing her, what was that? Her science? Is that her science uniform?
Yeah. Med.
Okay.
That's a medical.
Yeah, medical. And I'm wearing the same.
And looks like she had to come save you because you got jumped by some Outdorian bullies who stretched your shirt out.
Yeah, they were trying to rip my head through the shirt and it didn't fit.
Crewman Patty does a lot for her community.
Yeah, she's a busy person.
Volunteers a lot.
So I see her out in public every now and then and try to get a photo opportunity. Oh, speaking of Crewman Patty, let's do some quotes. Who's ready?
Let's go.
Crazy kids.
Oh, who said that?
Wow, no idea.
That was short and sweet.
Let's try it again.
Crazy kids.
Can I give a hint?
Yeah.
Discovery. Let me give another hint. Burnham is meeting Ash Tyler for the first time.
Burnham.
No, there's a third wheel sitting at the table with them.
Saru.
Tilly.
Crazy kids. Michael.
Disco.
I almost ordered that shirt.
I have one.
You did?
I have
but is
another
it probably
one.
Oh, you have another one? I was going to say it's in my closet.
I have Enterprise too. I had it specially made.
You owe me a ship, Picard.
7.
Who's guessing?
I am 7 and 9.
Any other guesses? That's not 7 of 9.
I can't think of his name.
Let's watch it
Rios?
one more time.
Who? Rios, yeah.
Oh, I think I already progressed to the next slide.
You owe me a ship, Picard.
Rios.
Wait, who's guessed what? IB is saying
It's either
7.
going to be 7. No. Oh, I'm saying 7.
All right,
but it
IB
could be
says
Rios.
7. You're saying Rios?
Rios, yeah.
All right, let's see what the answer is.
I think it's 7 though.
7 of 9.
You want me to ship the card?
Good one. Magic's got it. IB got it. All right, let's go on. Trivia. USS Enterprise. Hit your smelling
Flagship
salts if you got
of
them.
the Federation.
Which class of starship was the original NCC 1701?
A.
Any other guesses in the chat? Just kidding. Constitution. If you got this wrong, you must confess. I don't think anybody would get that wrong. Let's go to the next question. What class of starship was the 1701B? Tricky.
I'm going
to let somebody else answer.
Like
But
a
I'm
PVG?
I'm gonna
It's an A refit.
no.
IB says C. So TrekBot basically says C.
It is C. It is a trick question. Because you have the 1701,
Yeah.
then the 1701A, and then 1701A refit, and then the B.
That's right. But we can't leave out the C. What class of starship was the C?
A.
PVG's going A. IB. I keep calling IB our TrekBot.
I'm going A.
IB's going B. So you guys are going A.
Yeah.
You guys agree on something for the first time. It's a day to remember.
That's what I love about magic.
All right, let's see what the answer is. It's what TrekBot said.
See? I know I could throw you off.
He got you.
I was saying
He
the
got
same
ya.
thing. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, PVG said he got you. Which Enterprise variant was the first to employ bioneural gel packs?
That was Voyager.
Well, of the Enterprises.
From which timeline?
The one with a D or an E or an F.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
B.
with B.
Yeah.
You're going to go Sovereign?
Maybe.
Oh, because you see
No.
that IB
No,
said
I'm
Sovereign.
thinking B.
Oh, because now you're seeing IB's answer. You're like, well, shit, if TrekBot says B, I'm going B.
No, which one was the Titan? No, it would have to be E.
1701E. The Sovereign class Enterprise utilized bioneural
Magic.
gel packs for faster computer response, referenced in First Contact.
Reference on Voyager.
What significant...
Voyager had it first.
Well, maybe Voyager did, but we're talking Enterprise. What significant advancement did the Enterprise C introduce in its phaser systems? Triple X video streaming arrays?
What?
Type X arrays. Sorry. I don't know why that looked like triple X. Rotary torpedo launchers. What would a rotary torpedo, like a bazooka thing? Forward firing burst emitters.
I would say C.
Forward firing burst emitters. Okay. Not the Type X arrays.
No.
You're not into that.
No. C for me.
No gooning here. Oh, IB TrekBot's not sure.
I'm going to go with A.
All right.
C, baby. Come on.
Gotta have conflict. Forward firing burst emitters. The Ambassador class Enterprise C
Cypress in the backseat.
used
Mama's home
burst
hungry.
phaser emitters instead of arrays, referenced in yesterday's Enterprise, the one with Tasha Yar, where she goes back and then gets captured by the Romulans or something. Okay. The Enterprise E's warp nacelles were designed with what new safety feature? Variable field geometry, inertial dampening rings, or plasma containment shutters?
That's C.
Plasma containment shutters is what PVG says. What do we got in the chat? A, B, or C? All answers are respected, but not all answers are right. What are you chewing on, Mgyx? What, like Skittles?
Beef jerky.
Oh, jerky. All right, let's see what the answer is. Variable field geometry. So basically, the warp nacelles could change position, orientation.
Fascinating.
How many times does the original NCC 1701 perform saucer separation?
C.
You're going C?
Yeah.
Oh, you must have missed
In
a
the
few
movies,
episodes.
0.
The original.
In the books, I believe it does it once. Because in order to get it put back together, you have to get it done at a starbase.
Separation
never
was
bluff.
a last resort maneuver for emergencies, not a tactical option. Scripts from the
Vulcans.
original series show characters discussing it, but it was never actually performed.
Vulcans never bluff.
And then this little tidbit goes on. It didn't fit here, but it says that they couldn't afford it in the show's budget. Imagine how bad it would have looked
I know.
in TOS if they would have done a saucer separation.
The models.
Horrible.
on
You
the
would have seen the strings hanging there.
Yeah.
Wobbling. Which version of the Enterprise first used quantum torpedoes as part of its standard armament?
B.
You're going B.
Yeah.
The D.
The D?
D.
They gonna take that D. Oh, Chief Scott says A. IB says A. We've got conflict.
Whoa.
We've got
Whoa.
drama.
By the way,
Karen
yeah, I guess
says
it would
A.
be.
Are you guys going to
It
change your
would be
answers?
because the
No.
D died. Nope, you're right. Because the D got destroyed, and then the E was made, and they had it.
Who
The
knew?
Sovereign class Enterprise
They
was
made
equipped
a
with
couple of quantum torpedoes on the
We
D,
try to throw them off,
but
and what
they
happens?
did not do it as a standard armament until the E.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they tried to trick you, chat. That's all they were trying to do.
Fascinating.
They knew better. They were trying to trick you.
Emotional damage.
Well, that's always fun. Uh-oh. Oh, my scene button didn't work. By the way, if anyone's curious, we use this software called OBS. It's free and it's pretty it's pretty stable. Does what we need. We're not fancy here.
Why does my screen look yellow on YouTube versus on Ninja?
Have you tried to clean it?
You're Asian?
No, like my video stream, like my background, my wall is white in Ninja, but in the YouTube feed, it's more yellow.
All right, so what are we talking about right now? Oh, we were
Space.
talking about Khan.
The Final Frontier.
All right, let's do this real quick before we, let's wrap up on this Khan thing. But you didn't even listen to Khan? You fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
Okay, what were you doing? Driving?
No, I was on the recliner. Big,
Oh,
That's why.
big mistake. Yeah.
okay. Well, don't go into Khan. So
You say, don't goon to cons. You got issues.
if you had to give it a score, like let's say it's an Amazon product, what do you give in Khan?
From what? 1 to 10?
Go 1 to 10.
8.
Damn. All right. Even though Khan is starting to sound a little wimpy, you're still good with it?
Yeah, I think there's a reason.
Okay. Oh, there's a reason he's sounding wimpy?
Yeah. Trying to put his ducks in a row.
You going 10, Mgyx?
I'm torn. I'm going 8.5, between 7.5, 8, and 8.5. So I get where you're saying that he's becoming wimpy and they seem to be repeating the same trope over and over again. And I'm hoping it's going to pay off in the end. Like, she's going to die and he's going to snap. And that's what's going to lead to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a little upset that they're not delving more into this conspiracy that Starfleet knew from the beginning. That we've only gotten 2 little bits that hint that so far. And maybe this next episode that comes out tomorrow will go further into it. But I kind of want to see an episode that is within the modern time, the time that this is occurring, not just when Khan's on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing found footage, kind of like 13 Reasons. Even in 13 Reasons, they stopped at least once a season and while they're reviewing the tapes, and we're showing you what was happening at the time that they're reviewing the tapes. They just weren't spending the entire time in the past. I think we need one of those episodes where it's you got this reporter and Tuvix and Sulu, and we're seeing what the repercussions of this investigation and reaching out to the Elborian, and that's why I'm hoping that that's what's gonna be, is that they reach out to the Elborians and they're telling them what they discovered. They're retelling their story, but they're telling it as a modern day. I say modern day, but a current time story, not just listening to the past on the tapes anymore, or
So
at least for at least one episode.
You're thinking that the show is going to explain why Khan snaps, and then that leads to the entire movie of the Wrath of Khan.
Like, from a writer standpoint, I could see why they would keep doing what you're talking about. Having Khan change his ways for her, and him. We know how he ends up, and if he's doing all this for her, the best thing the number one reason why he would change and go the complete opposite way and just murderous would be if something happened to her and he just snapped, because now he has no reason to hold back. Like, right now, she is the reason for him to rein it in and use his powers for good and not evil.
Chili cups.
Oh, chili cups. So talk to Chief Scott about that. All right, let's shift gears real quick and talk about Strange New Worlds. I had this theory about why people like Strange New Worlds more than Discovery. And it's because Strange New Worlds has better looking people. Discovery is a bunch of uglies. No, seriously, look at Strange New Worlds. Number 1, former supermodel. Christina Chong, La'an, super hot. Jess Bush, super hot. Uhura, hot. Who else is hot? I mean, the women would think Pike is hot, right? Anson Mount, good looking guy.
I thought Anson Mount.
Spock, Strange New World Spock, good looking guy. Ethan Peck, I think is his real name.
I thought Anson and Ethan did a good job of portraying their characters.
You think that's why Strange New Worlds is better?
Well, I'm sure, their looks helps. But I think as the 2 main characters, I thought they did a good job portraying it.
I think they do. But Discovery did have some uglies.
Yeah. Saru? Nah.
No, you can't count an alien. I'm not saying no. Take the alien out of it and look at the rest of the crew, right?
Saru's feet. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Mgyx just bounced.
Oh, where'd he go?
Ankle boo boo. What was that? That's messed up. I was about to take a sip. Good thing I didn't.
My.
Oh, look at his cool little logos he's got.
Sherry.
Oh, it's Crewman.
There's a mouth fart.
Are you still next door or are you back home, Crewman Sherry?
Crewman Sherry, if you're still here, you should take this guest seat.
And there's no camera pointing at it. You could just hang out.
Yep.
They had a game night next door. Crewman Sherry, Crewman Patty. I guess Crewman Patty had a little bit too much to drink.
Uh-oh. We didn't get an invite. There he is.
Appreciate that, Crewman Sherry. We appreciate your patronage. So what's your Mgyx? You didn't give a thought on Discovery having some uglies, Strange New World having really good-looking people.
That's because you're shallow and that's the way you think.
Okay.
I think it was a better show. Just
like IB says, better
Discovery,
stories.
Better stories, less bullshit. It wasn't trying to.
You mean you didn't like the story about the progenitors in Discovery?
That was a weak story. That was just like somebody said, hey, go watch this episode of TNG. Or, I don't remember, was it TNG or Discovery or Voyager? No, it had to be TNG because other species were there. It was like, go watch this, and they watched it on 2x speed so they could get it done, and then they loosely wrote a episode trying to tie it together. They didn't go anywhere in the past beyond TNG with Voyager, with anything else, because they definitely didn't go under Xindi or the Enterprise, because they didn't mention anything about the Xindi species, the missing fifth race. You didn't do anything with the dinosaurs, how, species how life on Earth split into one side went reptilian, the other went humanoid. They didn't tie any of that stuff together because it was just bullshit. It was a one-off. That could have been a 3-arc run, and they could have fleshed it out way better, and they didn't. They spent more time talking about their interpersonal relationships, about a crew that nobody really gave a fuck about, because it was from a ship in the past that happened to get. What the fuck are all y'all doing? You're both looking at your phones.
No, I was checking to see because some new shorts went live. I was checking the action on the new shorts.
All right, well, I'll stop talking and wait till y'all are done doing your phone stuff, because that just makes me feel like an idiot.
No, but I am listening to you for sure.
Discovery had weak writing, too much of the wrong subject matter for it to be a Star Trek show. That's pretty much it. It was
so
an
you don't think good-looking
drama.
people make a difference?
I don't, because they could have. The writing, the subject matter could have made up for that.
Well, the burn, like IB says, the burn was very weak. I still think the burn was like, how did the burn, the cause of the burn, how did that even make it past? Don't they have screening? Like, don't they have people that say, that's kind of dumb? Clearly not. Any Trekkie would have said the burn's kind of dumb.
So, ironically enough, tying this all back into Lower Decks, it's literally ties into the whole you can't go faster than warp 5. That was a big thing at some point in time, if you don't recall. It was one of those shows where like you can't go faster than warp 5, you're destroying the fabric of time. And they left it at that. Lower Decks followed up with that Easter egg, and they explain what really happened with that. That's what they did with the burn, and there's no way for them to follow up with it. Again, weak writing. They took a subject matter that could have been made really good, and they made it into something that had nothing really to do with Star Trek.
Yeah, it's weird.
It turned it into a personal matter, because if you think of it, and yeah, I'm going to give you spoilers, it was all about a kid overcoming trauma.
Question.
Like, that literally could have been a 5-minute thing. You could have spent the rest of the series talking about, well, how are we going to get the ships out of here? How are we going to get, ships in here? You could have put in some transporter beacons, whatever. Grab the kid and taken him out. But they made it, you can't. You have to talk about it. Let's talk about our feelings for the next 8 episodes of this season.
Oh, IB's calling you Captain Mgyx. Let me ask a question about the real world. I read this. I was reading some story, some science article, probably a TikTok, but they were talking about how the fastest speed possible is the speed of light. And I think to myself, how arrogant do our scientists have to be to think that they know the fastest speed possible? Like, how can we say that the fastest speed possible is the speed of light? Like,
that's like bad writing.
Why? I'm talking about in the real world. Like,
I'm talking about the real world as well. We have real writers that wrote bad Star Trek episodes, and this is why. It's because we have real life scientists saying nothing is faster than the speed of light. Well, speed is based on your distance. So if it takes 8 minutes for light to reach Earth from the sun, which is roughly what it takes, about 8.5 minutes. Well, that's the speed of light. Okay. What if you close the gap of how far the Earth is from the sun? It's not going to take 8 minutes anymore. It could take 2. Literally by closing the gap. Henceforth, you've gone faster than the speed of light, because once you reopen the gap, Earth is back at its normal orbit.
Yeah.
That's faster than the speed of light. It's literally, speed of light is measured on the distance. How far does light travel? And how fast does it go? And based on your time, well, sun to Earth, 8 minutes. Well, if you close the gap of that distance, it's not going to take 8 minutes. If you put the sun where the moon is at, it's not going to take 8 minutes for light to get from the sun to Earth. It's going to take about 0.2 seconds, if probably faster than that, but still. But then you take away the gap and put the Earth back where it's at. Now you're back to 8 minutes. You just went faster than the speed of light.
But even if you...
So you're arrogant to think that that is the end-all, be-all.
Well, the arrogance to think that there may not be another species out there that the speed of light is not the fastest way that they travel. Like, even if you take distance out of it, like, okay, so light, the speed of light is what, like 186,000 kilometers a second or something like that. Some high number, right? We get it. It's a big number. But there could be technologies out there that we don't know about yet that can go faster than that. Like, why do we, like, to say that this is the fastest? And when these scientists say this stuff, they're very definitive, right? They're saying, oh, this is the fastest possible anything can travel. You know, like idiots like Neil deGrasse Tyson and stuff.
Look, I don't think he's that much of an idiot. I think he just breaks it down into idiot version so idiots can understand it. The speed of light is 186,000 miles per second.
Yeah.
The energy that it takes to get to that speed, what does it take for you to slow down and stop? The same.
So here's the other reason why I think that's dumb. Look how far away Voyager is. It takes over 24 hours for a message to get from Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 back to Earth.
And that's radio waves, and that's not the speed of light.
Right. And they just left the atmosphere. Or not the atmosphere. They just left they're in the gap between universes right now.
Wait, how long does it take?
A little over 24 hours now.
It takes a while
for radio signals to get from
So
Voyager.
are those radio waves traveling at the speed of light?
No.
I don't think so.
Less than.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they travel at the speed of light?
Because it's not sent by a laser.
Now think of it this way. If it takes 8 minutes for light to get from the sun to Earth, and Voyager's left the universe, the galaxy, not the universe,
that could be the speed of
our
light.
solar system, and it takes over 24 hours for a radio message to get there. I mean,
I think radio waves are the speed of light.
I don't think so. I think radio waves are in the spectrum of speed of light. But
Hey, look, IB, TrekBot. Radio waves travel at the speed of light.
Huh.
It must be true.
radio waves travel at the speed of light, which is approximately 186,000 miles per second. So
yeah, really? Wow.
Or 670 million miles per hour.
Yeah, Voyager is far away, right? Voyager 1, Voyager 2.
Right. So it takes 24 hours. So you're basically saying if we could travel at the speed of light, we could get to the end of our known solar system in 24 hours.
Yeah, believe the bot.
Believe the bot.
We're allies to the bot.
I just Googled it, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
So to think that that another species can't make it that far, like I said, you said disc race. Yeah, Chief Scott, they got those Rimbo
disc
brakes going on. They got the race calipers.
The AC Delcos.
With the Brimbos. Yeah, I think you got to be completely ignorant to think that no one else is available to do that.
If we charged you for it, then we would refund you.
Well,
hey,
Karen,
speaking of refund, I got a refund today from Best Buy. You know, I bought this camera, and it was this is what I was telling Crewman Patty. I said, whenever I buy something for the next 30 days, I go back every few days and see how much it cost to make sure it didn't go on sale.
Sure.
It went on sale, $200 off. And so I jumped on Best Buy chat and I said, hey, I bought this thing 10 days ago and I see it's $200 off. And they gave me an on-the-spot refund. And I checked my credit card and sure enough, boom, $216.
I think they've always done that though.
Well, you got to initiate it though. They don't do it automatically, but you if you initiate it, they'll do it. But that's the thing is once you buy something, a lot of people don't go back. They're just like, you know what? I bought it. I'm moving on.
Now I know what
I think I do that with larger purchases like a camera. I did that with the laptop when we went and got my laptop when I first started using Serato. And they, because at the time, they left the sale price on the display counter where the laptops were at, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's not the right price anymore." I was like, "It is today."
Yeah, no shit.
It is today.
So I'm going to take that $200.
That's also why I keep my boxes
and go see what Milwaukee tool I can buy.
Ooh,
I got I was telling my mom about all the boxes, and my mom is a low key hoarder. She mentioned something about my boxes because I got my mini fridge in. She's like, "Oh, you're why is that box in the garage? When you want to throw it away?" I was like, "Because I have a return window."
Yeah.
And if I need to return this, I'm going to put it back in the box.
Yep.
Like a lot of my equipment that I had here, I bought the extended warranty on, or the Amazon warranty on, like my microphone, certain things like that. So if it breaks, I have the box to return it in. And once I fall outside of that window, shit's going in the trash.
Yeah, I always keep all the packaging for the first 30 days. You got to do it because you never know if you're going to send it back or if the price drops. Because some places don't do that Best Buy thing where they'll just give you the refund. Some places make you go through the trouble of returning it, rebuying it cheaper, and that's a pain.
TikTok did that. I ordered a Star Trek shirt.
Yep.
And I was like, oh yeah, let me go extra big. Let me go 6X with this. That shit came in like a young adult medium because apparently it was third-party country and
6X in China is like a toddler size.
Yeah, I was like, no, I had ordered 2 of them. And I immediately, I took it out of the package and I immediately went onto the app. I was like, nope, return. And they're like, oh, why? I was like, too small, not the right size.
Wait, how did they say it?
Well, in broken English through chat, it was broken English.
We don't
even
take a
in
return.
10 minutes.
So,
be ready in 10 minutes.
And they were like, all right, go ahead, return. Here's the I was like, all right, cool. Got it.
You go now.
Up. And and I had waited. Here's the thing that I found also, especially with TikTok. It was either TikTok or Instagram. But I'm pretty sure it was the TikTok shop. I wait a week before I do the return, because usually by then they do a follow-up. And so far for the last couple, they're like, okay, it looks like you started a return, but you haven't done it. Oh, don't worry about it. Just keep the product. We'll go ahead and refund you. So I have 2 shirts that are way too small that I don't have to worry about trying to go to the UPS store before it closes to send back.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, going to give a quick shout out to Chief Scott's dad.
Slim?
Yeah, he might be trying to check out the podcast.
All right. Don't forget to subscribe and share.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
He came by. Chief Scott brought his dad by the studio, hung out, sat in your chair.
Is this amazing or what? It's crazy.
So that is my next purchase. Is going to be a new chair, a permanent chair for this desk
with wheels.
It's going to be no. It's going to be more like a.
Papa
Have you
son?
ever gone to the hospital and sat in one of their lounge chairs?
Yeah.
That reclines back. Like if you ever had to get like an IV or
we should get
for a
Papa
long
son
time.
chairs.
That's what I'm getting. I'm gonna get one of those chairs. It's low. I don't want to get a full-on recliner because I can't recline it, but it's gonna be kind of like one of those. It's almost the size of your chairs, but it's a recliner.
Okay.
Type thing. So I'm gonna get that as a permanent chair for this desk, and then this office chair, if it holds up, it will just be at my workstation for work. If I, still have a job by the end of the year.
Yeah. Jobs are overrated.
Yeah, they are.
And, it's one of those I have reached.
Hey, worst case, PVG can get you on board.
You like travel? We're always looking for bus drivers.
Hey, he could be a bus driver. You could be a bus driver.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't want to be a bus driver.
Get that big turn. You got to stop at the train tracks, though.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that.
The kids.
I need to get back I need to get back into tech. Taking this job was literally a break from tech. It was kind of like when I lived with you and I was applying at GoDaddy, and I was like, oh, it's a tech job. And Mike's like, no, it's a sales job. I was like, no, it's tech. Like, but it has a sales bonus. And like, that's a sales job. I turned out to be good at it. I was like, let me try the medical field. I don't like doing it at all. There are some technical things, but I've been told to stay in my lane. So I just let things break. Right. I clearly know what the problem is, but I've been told on so many occasions to stay in my lane.
Nobody likes anyone who goes out of their lane.
If you if you ever get
Our
over
biggest
here,
troubleshooting is, did you clear your cache and cookies? Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
big.
that didn't work?
It's a big deal.
Okay. You're going to need to contact your IT.
PVG was offering you a job.
if you ever come over here, I bet you JB is me could get you a job. He's in IT.
Oh, there you go.
He's making billions.
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 I don't want to make billions. I
With a
just want to
P.
make enough to.
Okay, millions.
to be
Billions with a
comfortable.
P. Well,
Anyway,
there's a lot of other privileges out here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm sure there are at some point.
You won't, for what you know, you will not go hungry over here.
You'll be eating.
Well, what I do know is it costs almost $1,000 to get the BMW key replaced.
Yes, I've heard that those things are expensive.
$600 just for the key, 100 and something else for reprogramming. I actually can't do it myself.
Nope.
Because
It's got a chip in it.
according to California state, no, I can't do it. The car is still in my brother's name because he bought it. He just let my mom drive it, and she's not on the registration. So my brother would have to come here to do it, or I'd have to call my brother, have him transfer the car into my name, and then I would have to pay the registration, which I already pay for it, but I would have to get it in my name. And then I could pay $1,000 to get the key replaced by BMW.
That is insane.
Or I could pay $500 to a third-party locksmith and hope that it works.
I would do that.
Oh, and I can't just get the key. I can't get it copied. I have to get whole new keys.
Isn't there an app you can get?
No.
Oh. All right.
So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I think Section 31 is behind the BMW.
Yeah, no shit.
And
Section
car
something.
industry.
God.
Pricing. When I called BMW, they literally said it's because of inflation.
Yeah.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, I got my Dodge Avenger change for like $125, and it has a chip built onto the physical key itself. I was like, that's not inflation. That is just asinine bullshit.
True.
And he's like, well, there's also the new tariffs. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
All right.
Which I was going to ask, why are there no tariffs? Even if you don't have money, you have barter and trade in Star Trek. Why do you not hear anything about trade embargoes that are in place by people or tariffs? Because on DS9, they're always talking about you're not allowed to, or you can ship this, or not allowed to ship this. Like, why does the Federation have a lock on what can and cannot be shipped between two different worlds that are not Federation?
Because it's not realistic.
Okay. Well, then there's that.
It's kind of a loophole, I guess, in the whole plot of Star Trek and Starfleet and the whole no money thing. Kind of falls apart.
Aaron says she wants a refund for this TED Talk.
Yeah, we just give us your credit card number and we'll put the money back on it. Don't forget that 3-digit code.
Yeah, trust us.
Yeah, don't
Checks
forget
in
the
mail.
3-digit code in the back. Oh, and your zip code as well.
Yes.
Oh, I like the way you decorated your office, Karen.
Yeah. So, well, that's it. What's our closing thoughts? PVG, what do you got to say to everybody?
Watch Lower Decks.
Okay.
If you haven't watched it yet, watch it. Second episode. That's pretty good.
Are you going to watch any on your own, or are we going to watch them one by one here?
I would like to watch it one by one.
Okay.
Memory retention.
That's so he does, because he knows he's not going to do it.
So he doesn't fall asleep.
No, it's just for memory retention. I got to.
Okay. Are you going to try? Are you going to watch Con and get caught up on Con?
Yeah, I
because a new
definitely
episode
do
comes
that.
out tomorrow, so that means you got to watch
I need
too.
to catch up. Yeah.
Okay. No gooning. What about you, Mgyx? Closing thoughts?
No gooning.
PVT, listen to Con. I would say try and watch at least one episode of Lower Decks.
On your
And
own?
if you forget, we'll rewatch it with you.
All right.
So
I was really impressed by that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
No, it's
good and
decent.
funny.
And it's short, 24 minutes.
It is funny. There's some sharp part.
Probably 22 minutes if you take out the intro.
Yeah, I usually skip the intro.
Yeah, see, 22 minutes. That's basically toilet time.
Oh, now you're talking.
See? You don't even have to go out of your way.
Wow.
All right.
But I do have to go.
Yeah, so don't forget, subscribe, like this video, and catch some of the shorts that are going live right now. I got some shorts that just went live. Oh, what's that big bug crawling right there?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, by the way, our mutual friend, Art, if you're out there and watching this, pass the message along to Mr. Stennis, our mutual friend, and have him hop in. I think he would enjoy watching the show and possibly partaking in our chat discussions.
Who is that?
Mr. Stennis. All right.
Yeah.
IB, thank you. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Chief Scott. IB, TrekBot.
Crewman Sherry.
Crewman Sherry. JC Onset. Thank you guys for tuning in this week, and everyone else. Subscribe, and we will catch you next Sunday. I need a closing.
And I got my pants on today.
Check you later.
Peace.